Hello everyone, in this video I'll be going over round 799 of CodeForces, problems A through C. So let's get started. For problem A, you're giving 4 distinct integers A, B, C, and D, and it's basically asking you to find the number of participants basically in front of Timur. So Timur is A, and 3 other people are running with him, and the distance is like the variable that they give you. So you're trying to find how many people are in front of Timur. And this is pretty simple. All you need to do is find how many people are greater than A. Like how many of these are greater than A. So we can do that by going to here. And then I have the C++ program. So first off, we needed to C in all of these variables. So we're going to have int A, B, C, and D. And we're going to go std cin A, B, C, and D. And then now all we have to do is check for how many people are greater than that. So we're going to make a total variable, and we'll set it to 0. And then we're going to run if B is greater than A. We're going to say total plus plus, increment total by 1. And then we can do this same thing for C and for D. And then now we can just C out T. Pretty simple. We can try the test code. And you can see 2013 it's printed out, and that's what we should have. So if we browse and we submit this, if I can find my folder, oh, there we go. So if we browse and we submit this, yep, it's accepted. So now let's go to problem B. So here we have an array of n integers, and there's some duplicates inside this array. So what it's asking is, we remove 2 elements at a time, and it's asking us how many times we need to remove an element to for the array to be full of distinct integers. So basically, this array, like right here, it has 2s and 3s in it. We want to get this down to an array with only a 2 and a 3, because that's distinct integers. These, in this array, there are duplicates. And so how we can do this is we can use a set. A set in C++ is basically like a list, but it contains no duplicate elements, which is exactly what we want. And as you can see down here, it says the output, it wants the length of the final array. So basically, the length of the set is going to be the length of the final array. So let's go back to B. We're going to take in N and A. So int N, and then we're going to do stdcn into N, and then we're going to say int A, and it's going to be of length N, and we're going to do stdcn, actually wait, we're going to do for int I equals 0, I is less than n, I plus plus, a stdcn into a of I. So basically just gonna cn all of the data, and then we want to make a set out of this. So let's do std set, and I think I might need to import that, yeah. Include set. So we're going to include the set library. We're going to use std set, and it's going to be of integers. And we're going to do s equals std set int, and we're going to make a set from A. And how we do that is we give it the position of the first element, which is A, and we're going to give it the position of the last one, which is A plus n. So we'll do this. And, oh, missed a colon there. So now we have s, and then what we can actually do is, instead of this, we can make this into an int, and we can grab the size of this set. So we're going to make a set out of all of these elements, and we're going to get the size of it. So as you can see down here, if we make a set out of this, it'll be just 2 and 3, and then size just returns 2. And then now, let's do std cout s and L. but there's going to be something wrong with this. And as you can see down here, we have 2, 2, 2, 4, but the correct answers are 2, 1, 2, 4. And this is because in a case where there's an odd number of numbers, as you can see, it changes it into a set of just 1 and 9, but we actually need to remove one more than that, because we're removing 2 at a time, so we can't remove 3 objects. We either have to remove 2 objects, or 4 objects, or 6, and so on. So what we want to do is we want to see if n modulus 2 is not equal to s modulus 2, we're going to do s minus minus. And this just means, basically, if n is even and s is odd, we're going to subtract 1 from s, because we're going to have 1 too many in s. And if n is odd and s is even, it also applies. The rule also applies. We need to subtract 1 from s, because s has 1 too many. So now if we run this, yep, 2, 1, 2, 4. And then we can try submitting it. Yep, accepted. Nice. So C, this one's actually quite interesting. It's basically asking, you have this chessboard, and you have a bishop in one of these positions. And the bishop moves along the diagonals. It attacks the diagonal squares, such as like this. Oh, and by the way, the grid is always 8 by 8. So we're going to get an input of the board, and it's basically asking where the bishop is. And you can see these pound signs are where the bishop can attack. So as you can see, we're basically just trying to find the middle of this X right here. And the bishop is never on, like, the edges. As you can see, that is not on the edge of the board. The bishop will not be on the edge of the board. So, let's go into C. We're going to solve. We need to take in all of these lines. So let's make a call array. Call, and we're going to name it B for board, and it's going to be of size 8 by 8. And then now we need a for loop to get all of the input. So we do for int I equals 0, I is less than 8, I plus plus, and then for j equals 0, because it's a 2D array, j is less than 8, j plus plus, we're going to do std cn into b of ij. So now we have the board, and then what we can do is we can do something that's quite interesting. So as you can see down here, the tile where the bishop is only contains one pound symbol. As you can see, because it's where the two lines meet, so there's only going to be one point where the bishop is. So what we want to do is we want to find a row where there's only one pound symbol. But that's a problem, because on some other rows there's also one pound symbol, like this one or this one down here. So how we account for that is, first off, we want to find a row with two symbols, like this one. We want to find a row like this, because that means the bishop has already attacked those two squares. As you can see, so first off, we're going to ignore all 1 pound symbol rows until we find one with 2. And then after that, we're going to search for the first row with 1 pound symbol, and then that's going to be the row where the bishop is at. So what we're going to do is we're going to for int I equals 0, I is less than 8, I plus plus. We're going to take a count of how many pound symbols are in here. So let's say int count equals 0, and then we're going to go for int j equals 0, j is less than 8, j plus plus. If the element at that index is a pound symbol, then we want to increment count. So if b of ij is equal to the pound character, you want to say c++. Alright? And then now, up here, we want to make a variable that stores whether or not we've already seen a row with 2. So let's make like a bool scene equals false, and then we're going to say if C equals 2, S is going to be true. And then we're going to have if C equals 1 and S. So we have to have seen a row before with 2 in order to actually run this. So if C equals 1 and S, we're going to std C out something. And we already have the first coordinate, right? And that's going to be I. So I is a row, and we already have that. So let's do I, but we ought to make sure that this is starting from 1. I right now is 0 index, which means I is starting from 0 and going to 7. This goes from 1 to 8, so we just need to add 1 to I. And then we're going to see out with space as well. And then we need to have J. We need to know the horizontal position of the bishop. So an easy way to do that is just inside this if statement. Oh wait, I forgot T equals signs here. Inside this if statement, we're gonna have. Oh, hold on. The formatting's messed up. So we're gonna have another variable called like int position equals 0, and then when we find that position, we're gonna say p equals j. So we're just gonna store the position at which the bishop is horizontally. And then now down here we can say p plus 1 similar to I, because we need to add 1 because j is 0 indexed and this is 1 indexed. And then we're gonna std and l. And then we can return because we already found the position. J. Oh wait, about int. So now we can try the test. And 432245. That's what we see down here. We can browse, submit, and yeah, that's it. It's accepted. So that was it for this video. Leave a like if you want to see more of this, of CodeForces explanations. And yeah, thanks for watching. See you in the next video.